Okay, let's continue this mini-series on the gorgeous solo of Hotel California. If you missed part 1 with a great solo by Don Felder, there is a link in the description and probably a card here. I am Alberto Lombardi and I will guide you through the right notes to play this solo, as it was recorded on record, but also I will get a lot into the details that a lot of people miss and to me are one of the reasons why this solo is so great. This is the second chorus where Joe Walsh comes in, and he comes in with the first lick, a classic rock and roll lick on the first chord of the chorus, which is B minor. This is the lick, and if you watch it at first glance, it might seem a very simple rock and roll lick like this. And actually, on live performances, sometimes it does play it like this, but on the record is a little more subtle, and I think there is a bunch of things that make it very special. This first lick is a repeating pattern of 3 notes. But being 3 notes on a 16 notes track, they end up shifting where they are on the beat each time they repeat, 4 times. Let's simplify it a little bit just to look at the picking hand. Let's assume it's just this for a second. And we do a downstroke, playing an E at the 9th fret, we bend, then we do an upstroke and a downstroke. The second time around, the picking hand will be inverted, so we will start with an upstroke, then we will do a downstroke and an upstroke. So together, the 6 notes will be, and then this will happen again. But the notes that he's actually playing are a little different. Since he plays with a loose hand, he's not actually hitting just one note at a time, so it's always a little bit of a mess, a beautiful mess. But what he does is this, he bends, then when he does the first upstroke, it emphasizes the B note. This is unintentional, it's just because of the picking pattern. Then he plays an A note right here with the pinky. Then bends again with an upstroke. And then plays the bar. And this is the first half. The second half is the same thing, but instead of playing the A, he actually stays on the F sharp. As I said, it's not very clean because he is using a very loose pattern, a loose hand. But it sounds like this to my ear. It's interesting because it's exactly what is going to happen later on with the harmonized triads, this Latin kind of feel. Tagada, 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 tadaga. Then he finishes with. So he starts with the bend. Then he releases the bend. Pull off. Pick, pull off. And then bend again. And the last thing is just a jam. It's just a fast slide up, which is on the beat. Let me play this bit very slow for you. The slide comes right before the hi-hat opening and the bass playing a nice phrase, so they actually don't overlap. I don't know if it's intentional, but it's definitely beautiful. The third lick, which is on the A chord, starts with a rake and bends from an F sharp at the 11th fret with the 3rd finger to an A, so it's a 3 half-step bend. Then you slowly release the band, play an E right here, F sharp, change position to the 7th fret, play the D, and do a micro bend. And then land on these B notes. You might see that between these two notes, the E and the D, you have a little rest. That's because of the position shift, but it also adds to the rhythm of the song. Then you use your 3rd finger to bend at the 10th fret from A to B. Then you actually play a B on the E string. Then you play the A again and the F sharp. It sounds to me like he's speaking both notes. Then you play the A again, and we actually go into the next lick, where you play the A, you slide, and then you upstroke on the D. And we're now on an E chord, an E7 chord, and then we do a little chromaticism, which is really nice. We start from the 12, and we play down to the 9th fret. So we start from the 5th of the chord, the B, and we end up on the 3rd, the major 3rd. And this sounds really nice. And again, we slide up on the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the beat. 3, 4. Then we shift at the 12th fret and we play an A with the 3rd finger on the G string. And then we bend it and end on a B note on the B string. Then we shift again and we go to the 15th fret. This is important to shift the position because we're actually going to need to be here for the next part to happen. We're now on a G chord. Then we play an E note, pull off. Then we play the E again and bend. Play an A note, F sharp, release the bend, pull off, play the E again, pull off again. And then we move into the D chord. What happens here is really beautiful. As usual, they're following the harmony really well, and what happens here is that Joe Walsh is introducing a few chromaticisms that make everything sound really mellow, which is perfectly in tune with the theme of the song. What's happening here is that you bend at the 17th fret an E note to an F sharp, then play a G with your 1st finger, a G sharp and an A, all with alternate peaking. Then you bend right here when you're on the A, you bend to a B, stop the note. Possibly that's how I do it, I'm not sure how he does it, but I think he does it the same way. You stop the note. While you do that, you're actually bending the 1st string, the E string. But while you bend, what happens usually is that the next string is going to finish up under your skin. So you actually find yourself fretting the other string that you're actually not supposed to play. So you actually roll your finger a little bit so to press it perfectly. release the band and play the D. You want to try and be very careful to mute every note that is not supposed to play. You can clearly hear that there is a pause between the bend from the A to the B and the release bend from the F sharp to the E. And that's because you're muting the note. As I said, I use the flash of my fingers of the right hand to stop the E string from sounding. Like this. Then I play the F sharp release and the D note again. Once you're here, you repeat the E note. Oh, by the way, if you subscribe to the channel, please activate notifications with a little bell, so you'll be sure that you will not miss any future video. Do it. Just a quick thing about the sound. While Don Felder tone is pretty clean, it's just a little distorted, the Joe Walsh sound has a little bit of phaser on it. They both have a nice tape echo in the background, but Joe Walsh has a little bit of phasing. Before the next chord, there is a little unintentional or maybe intentional pull off from the E to the D. Then you play the E and bend. Play the A and keep sustained. Then when you release the bend, you don't go to E, you actually go down to F, which is still very mellow. As I said before, they're really attentive to what the song is communicating emotionally. Then you release the band to E this time, you play a D, you stop, there is a little rest. Then again, you do it again. Then you release the band again and you play the D. And then you bend from A to B. This time is not following the harmony, but it creates a very, very interesting pattern and extension on the chords. In this first part, we're on E minor. So he's actually playing the 9 and the 4. So we have F sharp, which is the 9, and A, which is the 4. When we go to the next chord, which is F sharp, he's actually playing the sharp 9, like in the Hendrix chord. And it finishes like this. Here comes a slow performance as a recap and for you to practice over. I appreciate it if you leave a like and also ring the bell. Alberto Lombardi, ciao! 1, 2, 3, 4.